In this part of the lesson, we'll learn how to use the if function in VBA. You may find the if function is a handy, concise alternative to writing a full if statement when you only have a simple logical test to perform. Let's start by opening up the file that I've already downloaded and extracted, and as always we can click the Enable Content button to allow the existing code to work. This workbook here is a very simple score predictor for football matches. So these are two teams who played at the FIFA World Cup in 2018, and I've got a simple button here that I can use to predict a new result. As it's already happened, you might want to look at what the actual result was so you can compare how good the predictor is. It's not really much of a predictor. All it's doing is generating a random number between 0 and 5 for each of cells B3 and C3. What we'd like to do is write an if function that returns the name of the winning team into cell C7 after we've clicked the predict result button. Let's head into the Visual Basic Editor so that we can see the code we've already written. And we want to add a new line of code just after we've finished generating the random numbers for each of cells B3 and C3. What we'd like to do is set the value of cell C7 according to the result of a logical test. So let's say range C7.value equals, and at this point I'm going to begin my if function. If I press Ctrl and space on the keyboard, I'll find the if function spelt with double I-I-F, so don't get that confused with the Excel worksheet function, which is only spelt with a single I. You can then open some parentheses and have a quick look at the tooltip. The tooltip here is exactly that you would see for the Excel worksheet function if. The expression is your logical test, and then the true part and false part are the values you want to return when the logical test returns true and false respectively. Let's write our logical test first. I'm going to separate this onto a different line by typing in a space followed by an underscore, and then on the next line I can indent my code one space. What I want to do first is check if the value of cell B3 is greater than that of cell C3. So my logical test will be range, I'll spell range correctly eventually, range B3 dot value greater than range C3 dot value. Following that, I want to write out the value I want to return if that condition returns true. So if Team A, as in the one in cell B3 whose score is in B3, is the winner, I want to return the value of the cell B2, which contains the name of the team. So once again, I'm going to type in a space followed by an underscore, and then on the next line I'll say return the value of cell B2, so range B2.value. I can then type in a comma to move on to the false part parameter, and then type in another space and another underscore, and then on the next line say range C2.value. Finally, I just need to close the parentheses, and if I hit enter, the syntax checker will indicate if anything's wrong, so that looks good to me. Now we can check that the code works by returning to Excel and then simply clicking on our predict result button. So if I click predict result, when Russia's score is greater than Saudi Arabia's, Russia is the name of the team that appears there. Click the button again and maybe we'll get a different result this time. So you can keep on checking that this generates the correct team name for each combination of scores. Now there is one potential problem with this. If I can get to the point where I generate a draw, you'll find that Saudi Arabia actually has a slightly unfair advantage. I'll get to a draw eventually if I keep on clicking enough times. So the way we've structured our if function is to say only show Russia's as the winner if Russia's score is greater than Saudi Arabia's score. If the scores are exactly equal, like I've finally generated here, then Saudi Arabia is declared the winner. That seems a little unfair. So what we can do to solve that is write a nested if function, which only displays Saudi Arabia as the winner if Saudi Arabia's score is greater than Russia's. So let's return to the Visual Basic Editor to do that. And we can start by removing the false part argument that we provided here. So let's remove that line entirely. And then we can begin another if function in the same way we did previously, IIF, and then open some parentheses. I'll type in a space and an underscore, and then on the next line, I essentially just want to test this condition in the opposite order. So rather than writing it all out again, why don't we just copy and then paste that line. I can then alter the cell references so I can check if C3 is greater than B3, Not the only way I could have done that, but that's the way I went for. If that's true, then I want to show the value of range C2. So I can say range C2.value, and that will be the true part argument for my nested if function. I can then type in a comma and a space and an underscore, and this final parameter, this false part parameter, this is the value I want to return if both scores are equal. So what I'm going to do is put in the word draw. Now I've opened up two sets of parentheses for my two if functions, so I'm going to close two sets of parentheses, and that will be okay. Let's give this a quick little test again. If I switch back to the Excel window and hit the predict results button a couple of times. So when Russia wins, Russia is declared the winner. When there's a draw, I generated one earlier this time, I get the phrase draw in cell C7. And when Saudi Arabia is the winner, which will happen eventually, Saudi Arabia is declared the winning team. At this point, you can either carry on with the extra practice session at the end of this part of the lesson to gain some more experience with writing if functions. Alternatively, move on to the next part of the lesson to look at how the switch function works.